So this is the One Stop Novel Shop. This is a Second Life exhibit I created based on a series of lessons I've been doing in my creative writing class based on character development, plot development, and settings. So this is the start station. And the students click on that and they get a note card that tells them where to begin. So this floor, they're going to try out different characters. They're going to try out different avatars. Each of these pictures shows an avatar in Second Life. So they get instructions on how to become that avatar and actually just try out, try seeing the world from a different character's point of view. So from the start station, they also have a link to some lessons about character development, and that's from a young novelist workbook created by the same people who do National Novel Writing Month, and it's a whole series of resources that they provide online for students. So this character, they've clicked on her. She says, I'm Abigail, I'm 26, and I wear a spider on my hat, and I also have a mysterious secret. So now the student will get some instructions on how to find that avatar and try her on. And I was hoping that this whole experience might give students a chance to really inhabit a character, maybe more so they could than just thinking about a character or working from a writing prompt in a traditional classroom. So here's another one. This is Elizabeth, and she says, I can often be found daydreaming. And then this also comes with some instructions. So hopefully the student at this point could just be exploring these different avatars, reading the note cards, writing down some notes, and just be thinking about which one might appeal to them the most as a story starter. So once the student has decided which avatar they want to be, they go to the last station and they get a note card that asks them to use the avatar they chose as a prompt to write from that character's point of view. And then they'll have the little floating red ball there is actually a link to a character questionnaire from that young novelist workbook. And that is just a whole series of questions, some basic questions and some more detailed about who their character is, what they want, who's important to them. And that's usually my first day of creative writing with the kids. I have them fill out a character questionnaire, and that almost always sparks some stories for them. So this is the second floor. This is the setting area. So for this part of the lesson, they're going to explore different settings. Each of these stations will teleport you to a different place in Second Life. And I tried to choose settings that were especially moody or mysterious, or just seemed like they would really do a good job of starting a story. And then I also asked the students to landmark where they are right now so they could return to this place after they've finished exploring a setting. So they're asked to just take notes on a series of questions. What kind of mood does the setting create? What kind of characters might live there? And how would your own character that you chose in the previous lesson interact with this setting? So ideally, students would try out 3 or 4 of these, or maybe think about how to link different settings together in the same story. So this is a place called the Plain of Jars. So we'll wait for everything to res in here. So a really strange, slightly creepy place, but I thought it might be, might give students some ideas about what might happen there. Kind of surreal. So after the students have explored the setting as much as they want, then they can teleport back home. So for the last station, they are asked to take one of the settings they chose that was most compelling, make a connection between that setting and their character, just try to describe how that setting might express something important about their character, and use sensory language to really create a picture for the reader of that setting. And they're also asked to try to make that setting evoke an emotional response for the reader. And that'll be a continuation of the story that they started earlier. So now we're teleporting up to the very top of the building, and this is the plot walk. So here students are guided through the different storytelling elements to help them construct a compelling plot. So for this introduction, they're asked to just do a series of writing exercise, just a short exercise for each plot station. And before they begin, they're asked to click on a link and open a lesson about plot in their browser. So they'll have some idea about these elements before they even start. So this is also from the Young Novelist Workbook, a whole series of lessons on how a plot is like a roller coaster, and I've had a lot of success using these in my classroom. It really breaks it down very clearly. So the first station the students will start at is the setup. And for each station, they're asked to do a series, or at least a couple of exercises from the workbook. This one's asking them to describe a scene that introduces their characters, the main conflicts. So they'll take a moment and write those out, and then move on to the inciting incident. So here they're asked to describe some sort of event that kind of propels their story into action and starts their main character on their adventure. And now they're going up to the rising action, and I really wanted to make this kind of a visual and physical experience of these storytelling elements. So they'll follow the action as it moves up, and then as it goes back down again. So for rising action, they're asked to make a list of the events that lead to the climax of their story. And here, they're asked to just write a paragraph that describes the climactic moment of their novel or story. Falling action. So another exercise that just helps them start connecting the loose ends of their stories. It draws to a close. And we have the resolution. So they need to describe how everything works out at the end of the novel. And they don't need to do a lot of writing here. It's more of just some exercises that will kind of give them a map to writing their story, so they won't be just kind of wandering around blindly trying to figure it out. So for the last station, they're asked to just do one more thing, to go to one more link. And that's going to be coming up in just a moment. So this links to a plot roller coaster diagram from the workbook. And here they can just use their notes and fill that in and use that as a visual guide to their story. And then they can teleport back to the first floor. They can spend a little more time exploring characters if they want. And then I also included this glowing orb is actually a reference to the National Novel Writing Month Young Writers Program website. So they could actually go and download the whole workbook, or teachers could use that as a resource as well. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll try it out. It's right next to our building on the EdTech Island, and I look forward to your feedback.